Hey guys, Levi here for the Rag Company, and welcome back to DETALKS. With me, Mr. Yvan Lacroix. What's happening, my brother?
Enjoying my stay in Boise.
It's quite nice, right? I mean,
is.
It's cloudy today, but it's all right.
It's cloudy, but it's almost 60 degrees.
It is almost 60. Hopefully it'll warm up a little bit more. We're going to go to the junkyard later today, so that'll be fun. But one of the things we wanted to talk about on this episode is maybe you guys saw it at SEMA. Maybe you got to see it last year at SEMA when it was a very early prototype.
Yeah.
This year was a much better version of it.
Right.
But that is the Lake Country Power Tools UDOs.
Yeah, actually LC Power.
LC Power Tools.
Yeah. So the UDOs 51E, and UDOs is user-defined orbital stroke.
Which is a totally new, it's crazy because none of the other manufacturers ever even built anything like this.
No. We have a really genius person at Lake Country, Scott McLean. Guy has got about 50 patents to his name, if not more. And this is his brainchild. But it is a machine that every detailer will eventually have, or will need. And the reason being, first of all, ergonomics. Mm-hmm. Secondly, efficiency. But third, cost. It is 5 machines in one.
Yeah.
So you have a rotary, my favorite, an 8mm stroke, which they're calling sanding.
Which is your short throw.
Yeah, short throw, same as a porter cable, things like that. A 12mm stroke, 15, and a 21.
Yeah, which is, that's awesome.
Yeah. The big efficiency part of it for me is you've dealt with a lot of people over the years giving them tech advice, and they're saying, I'm having problems finishing down this paint.
Right.
My standard advice to that is get a rotary. Mm-hmm. I always finish with a rotary, so it's easier for me.
Right.
But now we'll be able to tell them, what stroke are you on?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm using a 21. Oh, and you're getting micro marring. Go down to 12. Give that a try. Yeah,
instead of previously you would have to buy a couple different versions of different tools, which I've always said is tool.
Yeah.
You need to have the right tool.
Right.
If you're out of screwdrivers and all you have is standard slots and you need a Phillips,
you're screwed.
Yeah. And for a lot of people, and I know Dane is one of these gentlemen that loves to have a screwdriver with the reversible head or the extra heads in there, and he'll keep that just because he likes to have that option to have all those in one.
Right.
So for those detailers, maybe especially those that are going to be starting out, this is a great investment because it kind of gets you 5 great tools, and for those in the shops that already have a lot, they add this to the arsenal.
Right. The other thing as well is for a mobile detailer, you're not carrying 5 tools with you.
True.
You're carrying 1.
Yeah.
Also, the ergonomics of it. The front handle, I know you have problems with your hands.
Oh, yeah.
So do I. It comes with a standard front handle. There's 2 optional handles. There's a smaller one and a larger one. So depending on how you like to hold your machine.
Anthony has small hands, so the smaller one would be much better for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He's got pretty hands.
I think he'll like that term better than small hands.
Yeah. Delicate hands.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll put it that way. But nonetheless, so the ergonomics of it, a lot of people noticed when they picked it up at SEMA, at MTE, that it's heavier than most machines. The term I like to use is it's ergonomically balanced.
Okay.
That weight actually is to your advantage. Now, it's only half a pound more than most DAs on the market.
Right.
So it's not a big weight difference, but it feels solid.
Yeah.
And when you put your hand right in the center, just behind the pad, so right at where you expect the center of gravity of a machine to be, I can literally balance it like that.
Yeah, that's
and it's perfectly balanced there. So they put a lot of thought and effort into that part of it. Changing from one mode to another is as simple as turning a ring.
Yeah, that I really liked. That I thought was, and it's such a nice engagement.
Yeah.
It's like you pull that ring back, turn it, let go, it clicks in, everything.
Right, you can click it, you can hear it, you can feel it engage as well. And like I mentioned before, my favorite part of it is the rotary. Mm-hmm. So it's going to put into a lot of people's hands a rotary. They're buying it for the DA.
Right.
But then they'll be able to experiment the rotary aspect.
Yeah, which is it was an old skill that we all learned because that was all we had.
Yeah.
But to be able to, have that now, to especially the up-and-comers or the folks that maybe started detailing only with DAs and have been always kind of scared of a rotary. It gives them that opportunity, because I noticed a lot of people are moving back towards that. So
well, the rotary has, like I say, I'm an old guy. I like my rotary, but the other aspect, the other engineering thing, the other patent that they have on the UDOs is actually the backing plate.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people have an issue with overheating their pads. They have an issue with just heat in general. Well, the backing plate actually has NACA ducts or NACA ducts, like you see on race cars, like you see on airplanes, that forces air into the pad, into the backing plate, and into the pad.
To help cool it.
Yeah, to help cool the pad. So it actually builds positive air pressure in the pad.
Wow.
In the backing plate.
And then they created a special series of pads designed for the machine.
Right. So they have...
it's a new material.
Yeah, it's a completely new engineered foam. And a new wool. So the reason for the different pads is very simple. You now have a machine that is both a rotary and a DA.
Right.
So if you look at the Lake Country catalog, they have pads that are specifically for long stroke DAs. They have ones that are for rotaries. They have ones that are for short stroke DAs. They have one that for forced rotation. This pad has to do all 5.
Right.
So they've engineered a pad, not only the shape, but also the foam.
Right.
So they're very different colors as well.
They are. They're a little bit odd in the coloring. But
yeah, olive and khaki.
Yeah.
I know that in the U.S., camo is a color.
Yeah.
You go into stores and they have a whole camo
I'm a
section.
big fan of that color.
Yeah, exactly. So they go with that trend.
Yeah.
But the reason going for those colors was really to identify that, yes, this is different than any other foam you've ever seen.
Yeah, because you can go on the Rag Company's page and see all the different Lake Country foams.
Yeah.
We've tried to keep a consistent colorway for each tool as it's designed. But this is a very different color completely.
And the foam has active rebound technology.
Yeah, which is neat.
Yeah.
Bounces back so fast.
Bounces back. It keeps its shape. The exterior shape of the pad has an angle to it, but it also has a little divot, and that divot acts as a shock absorber. And that shock absorber, if you're putting a little too much pressure on your pad, it's going to absorb that extra pressure, but keep the face of the pad in contact with the vehicle.
Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah. Now, my favorite pad, though, still uses that foam, but has a sewn wool face.
Okay. So now you're adding that.
Like a waffle wool.
Yeah, so you're adding that rebound technology into, plus adding the wool face to it.
Right.
So you're getting all those benefits.
Yeah.
What's neat is if you didn't make it over to the Lake Country Power Tools booth, or maybe if you didn't make it over at Mobile Tech or even at any of at Serum Summer stuff, to actually get to see the tool, play with the tool, use the tool. It's impressive. It really is one of those things that you just got to get your hands on it.
Yeah.
And just play with it for yourself.
Yeah.
Get some seat time behind it, and then you can really, you'll be sold on it. It's one of those. It's just fascinating when we started hearing about it, and hearing about, just what was going on, and then the different prototype versions, and as they've grown. That's been pretty amazing to see the growth of this, because we've been following it pretty closely.
Oh, definitely. And Lake Country is actually going to have a try it before you buy it program.
Oh, wow.
So for $125, they will ship you a tool and 2 pads.
Okay.
You've got 2 weeks with it.
Okay.
If after 2 weeks you're not satisfied, ship it back.
Yeah.
It cost you $125. You got the shipping was included.
Yeah.
And you paid for the 2. You keep the 2 pads, obviously. If you do like it, they bill you another $579.
Oh.
So instead of the tool being $699,
you
get
it
$704. So for $5, you got free shipping and 2 pads.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good deal when you get it breaking down. And it goes back to like what you and I have always said, cost per use.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of people will probably balk at that price, but you've got to think about it in terms of how many cars is that going to do?
You can't buy 5 Harbor Freight DAs for that price.
You can't. And the fact is, like I said, out of one of my machines in my shop, over 4,000 cars.
Yeah, easily.
You know, with just brushes and brush changes and a
backing
cord
plate, yeah.
and a backing plate. That was really it over that course of 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So that price, original entry price of say $400,
Yeah.
did 4,000 cars.
Right.
You do that math, it's extremely inexpensive. And the same would go with this UDOs. If you're in that $600-700 range,
Yeah.
you get that same number out of that. All of a sudden, that machine is making you money, and
Costing it's pennies per
oh,
car.
it's like in the joke that you've always said. You hired it,
Yeah.
let it do the work.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of the time guys just need to understand. They need to change the way they think,
Right.
in terms of tools and equipment and products and how they run their business.
Yeah. You know, you have to look at the ROI of a product, or return on investment. You have to look at not the cost of it, but what it's going to bring you.
Yeah.
You know, like I've mentioned before on this
Show.
That's it. I was going to say podcast, but this isn't a podcast. Rag Company podcast. Subscribe to it. It's great. But the you know what I've said on this show before. I had a mat washer in my shop. Yes, it was $6,000, but if you do the math, after a couple months, it's actually making you money every time you put a set of mats in it.
Right.
And same thing with a polisher. The polisher is going to make you money. And the
And you're
UDOs,
getting five tools in one, basically.
the time savings that you have with the UDOs. I did a quick little video the other day, and it'll show up on the Lake Country channel eventually, comparing 5 tools to 1, polishing 5 different sections on a hood. With the 5 different machines, took 8 minutes. Just doing 3 passes,
Right.
changing pad, and in the other case, changing machine. With the UDOs, it was 5 minutes, changing the stroke and changing the pad.
Yeah.
With the 5 machines, it was 8 minutes.
Yeah. So you start saving time, and you exponentially
Yeah, exactly.
can grow that.
So over 8 minutes, I saved 3 minutes,
Yeah.
30%.
Yeah. Which is
A little over 30%.
Which is great, and
Yeah.
that in turn ends up making you more money because you're able to get a little more cars done.
Exactly.
You know, all that stuff. Well, Ivan, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yep.
You guys can learn more about the UDOs. Go to Lake Country Power Tool, LC Power Tools.
LCPowerTools.com.
Yep. Learn more about it. You can find Ivan on Facebook and Instagram, and at Yvan Lacroix.
Yep.
You can check out his bus, the Lacroix Cruiser, and its adventures as it travels all over the U.S. and Canada.
Yeah.
And as always, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that bell for notifications so that you'll be aware when any new DETALKS or any of the great new videos from the Rag Company come out. So, as always, stay tuned for more videos right here on the Rag Company YouTube channel, and thanks for watching.
Thank you.